sometimes it's more beneficial to do the work. Sometimes it's more beneficial to do the work. You all, about a couple months ago, I decided to buy a lawnmower. My son was of age, and I said, hey, he can get his exercise and learn some responsibility. Go ahead and start putting his hands to work in a different way. All right, and make me proud at the same time. So I get the lawnmower, and I'm the type of person, if I am pushing him towards doing something new, that I'm going to be hands-on as well and helping him get started, because at some point I'm going to want to release him, right, so he can be independent with whatever I'm trying him to do, where he won't need assistance. So I make sure I'm there at those early stages to kind of model for him, make sure he knows I support him, all right, things like that. So with that being said, I told him that, hey, you don't have to start off doing the whole yard. You can do the front and I'll do the back, all right? So in that, when I say sometimes it's more beneficial for you to do the work, y'all, for the last 5 years, I've been paying someone to do my yard, all right? So for one, it's more beneficial for my budget not to hire someone to do my yard. This is not an attack against landscapers. I'm talking about my household, all right? That's it, okay? So in that, in cutting the backyard, I'm not gonna lie, like I just hopped on and said, man, I just been missing out. This is wonderful. No. I was tired and hot and sore that very first time I did it, okay? All of those things at once and for a few days after, all right? But this is what I learned. While I was cutting the grass, you know what I said? I said, man, that was a workout. I do not work out, all right? I may stretch a little bit here and there. I don't consider myself a lazy person, so I am active a lot of times. But if someone asks me, do you work out? My answer is going to be no, because I don't, all right? I do not set aside time to work out. So I said, man, I've literally been paying someone for my workout. This could have been my workout. So this is where I'm coming from. I am I'm healthy and able to do this myself. So in this situation, it's actually more beneficial for me to do the work than to pay for convenience, all right? I'm able to work out and get my yard done, have it looking good, all right? And I'm able to save money. Where is this going? You all, there are a lot of things that we are paying for out of convenience that will actually benefit us more if we rolled our sleeves up and put ourselves to work. Just think about that. Think about how easy it was to slip into ordering clothes and groceries offline, right? And then when I think about that, I think about how it's actually good for me to walk through the mall, all right, get some steps in and browse here and there. It's actually good for me to walk through the store, all right, because now I can see, hey, they put out a healthier option. Hey, they've set up something new over here, okay? Instead of sticking to sometimes what I know, all right, or what I think is best. Think about what I'm saying. I'm going to say this again. Sometimes it's more beneficial to do the work than to pay for convenience. Now, what happens when you hop into the work? So, for example, for me, my first time cutting a yard, like I said, I'm like, what? What happens when you hop into the work and, hey, it's not sitting well that first time. It's not sitting well the second time. That does not mean turn around. You know what I started doing? It's an opportunity for you to problem solve, create a plan, and say, does this work need to be done? The answer is yes. If that work needs to be done, what are some of the obstacles? What makes me feel like I don't want to do this anymore? What makes me feel like I don't want to do it again? What makes me want to walk away? What makes me feel worn down? What is draining me? In my situation, it was clearly the sun. In my situation, the sun. Hey, if I did it a little later, mosquitoes, all right? The heat. A lot of times I just wanted me a little breeze, okay? So what do? If you find the time to sit down and determine what the obstacles are, all right, you are now one step closer to finding resources, all right, that take care of those issues. So what did I do? Okay, come out here. Okay, Courtney, you can still get it done. Just pin your hair up, all right? Okay, Courtney, you can still get it done. Make sure you have some water ready, all right? You can still get it done. Make sure you spray yourself, all right? Put some off on for the mosquitoes. You can still get it done, y'all. This is my last thing I got. It's a fan. Y'all, let me turn it off. Y'all can hear me. I cannot tell you how much I got done just because I had said, you know what? I should buy a neck fan, because that is where I feel all of the heat. Oh, I can't stand when my neck is hot. I cannot tell you how fast I moved today, how much happier, comfortable, and even motivated I was, because I outlined my obstacles and I found ways to take them out. That's a word. Don't let them take you out. You need to find a way to take out those obstacles. Do not allow them to take you out of the race that you are running, all right? I know y'all think I'm just talking about mowing a yard, but if you follow me, you know I'm speaking in the spirit. There are some things, there is some work. Let me stick to the terms I'm using. There is some work that needs to be done. Do you hear me? There is some work that needs to be done, and we cannot afford to just turn away from it because it's getting a little rough. I want you to sit down and think about, what do you feel like is working against you? Write it out. Those are the things you start tackling. Pray about them. You're going to receive ways to take them out. Take out the things that's trying to take you out, so that you can continue the work. So that you can continue the work. All right? Even if you have to slow down sometimes. We're not turning around. All right? Even if you have to take a break, we're not throwing in a towel. All right? Listen to me. There are some things I have learned out here. Look, muscles I didn't know I had. Stay with me now, because I decided to roll up my sleeves and do the work. If you were listening, I got way more benefits than just sending that cash to somebody else to do it. I'm working towards longevity, all right? I'm getting in some cardio. Again, I'm getting in some exercise. I'm getting that sunlight, that vitamin D. Listen to me. It may not seem like a lot to you, but I want you to know, if you're if you're well and you are able, I want you to think about some of the things that you are paying for out of convenience, and how much more beneficial it could be for you to roll up your sleeves and do the work. Listen to me. What happens when you do the work, man? Sometimes you see God in such a greater way, than when you decide that you want to walk away. This is too much. Y'all, don't give your breakthrough away out of convenience. Don't be afraid to push a little harder, all right? Don't neglect yourself. Value yourself enough to really sit and think about your life, the way you're spending your time, your money, your energy, all right? What's circulating up here, all right? And I want you to if you need to, do a sweep. Think about the things that may be working against you and that are trying to get you to turn away, and cut them out. Cut them out. Pray about them. Listen, sometimes it's more beneficial to do the work than to pay for convenience.